Okay, so our next speaker is Amit Marom. Amit is also going to talk about international scale fuck-ups. Amit has served 14 years as an officer in the Paratroopers Brigade in Israel. He's a board member in numerous NGOs. He is a founder of Marom Group. It's an international investment fund for social organizations. Marom Group helps social entrepreneurs create business models in order to carry out their activities. Amit is a dedicated golfer and a marathon runner, and is also known for his unique taste in fashion. Amit Marom.
Thank you. Good evening. It's always good to speak second, so you have a lot of jokes about the first speaker. So I'm 41. It's okay? I was born in a creepy, shitty neighborhood in Rishon LeZion, and I'm a father of 3 boys. So any consulting appointments, Yossi, let's go after. So it actually starts like a joke. It's a colossal failure. It's the biggest international thing that we tried ever to do, and it totally failed. It starts with an Italian, Korean woman, an American that meets and louder. And basically the Italian, Korean, and American decided that it's a good idea that Israeli will actually run the project. This is the Pope. You see the Pope over there? It starts with the Pope idea. You see Master Yoda? What's his famous quote? Not good enough. This is Master Yoda, by the way. He's on the socks. Master Yoda said, do or do not, there is no try. And this is basically what leads our company. We have Elia and Rinat from the firm over here. Basically, whatever people told us to do since we started in 2008, we said, of course we can do it. We can do it, whatever. The German government came to us and wanted us to start like a business investment club for green energy. Of course we can do it. Someone that wanted to invest in the education system in Zimbabwe wants us to manage the project. Of course we can do it. The World Congress of Muslim Philanthropists came to us and asked us to be the strategic consultants. Of course we can do it. And we say yes to everything, imagining that obviously we can do it. So here comes the story. In March 13, the new Pope has become the Pope, Benedictus. And he found a lot of corruption in the Vatican administration. And he said, we need to get new people to the game. And the guy next to him is a guy named Salvatore Martinez. He's a social worker from Sardinia. He says, Salvatore, you're going to be the first non-priest president of the Vatican Foundation. Vatican Foundation is probably the biggest organization which develops social programs around the world. And Salvatore said, okay. He came to Rome. He got a very nice office in Rome, and a very nice building in Rome. He said, what am I going to do now? And the Pope said, I have a great idea. 4 popes spoke about this idea of a new social venture. The first ever that will actually take care of families at risk around the world. I want to build 5 centers by the year of 2020. I want to have a pilot program in the Holy Land by 2015. You're going to execute it. Okay, Salvatore said, fine. He started traveling around the world. He's not a philanthropist. He has no clue about how to develop projects like that. He used to run a small school in Sicilia. And he got to Orange County. Actually got to DC in February 14. There is a big conference for the Catholic Church. It's called the National Prayer Breakfast, hosted by the American president. And he met a Korean woman, Susan Lee Peck, one of the richest families in Korea. And he had a dinner with her, and she said, wow, this is an amazing project. I live half of my life in Korea, half of my life in Orange County, California. I'm sure that we can raise millions of dollars for the project and we can execute it immediately. Well, it wasn't that easy, and she didn't know exactly what to do, and he didn't know exactly what to do. and they got to Orange County, California, and they meet this guy, Tim Timmons. Tim Timmons is one of the main Catholic leaders in the US, and Tim told them, of course, we have a lot of donors over here, we just need to meet them, and they will give us the money, and we can launch the project, and by 2015, you're going to have a first pilot project in the Holy Land. It was a bit complicated also. They have no one to actually execute it. The Pope wanted 5 operations all over the world. He wanted to start the project fast. And basically, they didn't know how to do it. And then Susan had lunch with Moti. Moti is an Israeli guy, a very good friend from Netanya. They have a very big diamond company, Lugano Diamonds, whoever knows it. And they had lunch in Orange County, California. And Susan tells Moti, look, we have this project, I don't know what to do with that. And Moti says, you must speak with Amit. I have no clue in the world what he's doing, but it looks like he can do it. So I'm actually having an amazing steak at Morton's in Chicago. This is actually took evening. This is the steak, and I have in my cigar at the lounge, the smoking lounge in Morton's in Chicago. And Moti gives me a call. He said, I'm here in Orange County. I just finished lunch with Susan. You might just speak with her. I said, sure. And in a winter night in Chicago, I get a call from Susan, and she told me, you know, this is the story. We need to execute a very big social project. We need to raise $50 million very fast. We need to start an international operation. Do you think you can do this? Of course. Of course I can do it. I sent her some paperwork of project that we actually executed in much smaller scale in the past. She said, this is exactly what I'm looking for. This is, by the way, like a proof. We have actually quotes of Pope started in 1997 who spoke about the project. And this was supposed to be, this is the initial picture that we got. This is the highest place in Nazareth, in the mountain, the St. Gabriel Hotel. For those who know, half of it belongs to the Catholic Church, and half of it belongs to the Catholic Church in Israel, and half of it belongs to the Pope, to the Vatican. And they said, this is where we're going to build the first location. I said, great, what we need to do? And I'm saying, you know, we are a consulting firm. We live out of retainers, and I said, this is a huge project. It's the Vatican, they have a lot of money to pay. Einat is going to get an increase in her salary. Sounds amazing. And then they say, why don't you come to us and join us in February 15, meet with President Obama and the Pope and everybody. We're going to have you at the national prayer breakfast. And I find myself in business, flying on my own expense, hoping that it's going to be a great project. And I find myself February 2015, not many years ago, actually 1 year ago, sitting in Washington at the Washington Hilton, in a very intimate crowd with President Obama, when Salvatore is presenting the project, and he represents the Pope, and all the Catholic leaders over there. It's going to take me more than 2 minutes. And we're having dinner, and they say, oh, it sounds great, and I'm getting a formal letter from the Vatican. We want to see you in Rome, and you're going to run the project. I'm saying, amazing, we can do it, it's an amazing thing. They still don't pay us. So we started making paperwork and hiring people and starting developing the project. And I'm going to Rome in February 15, and we start communicating, and I'm saying, this sounds amazing. And they prepared a nice office to me in Rome. And we sit with the Vatican consultants, and we go to dinners. I spent 3 days in Rome, being a guest of the Vatican. And they show me this is going to be your new office, and this is where you're going to have your espresso in the morning. These are real pictures. Sounds amazing. And I said, okay. It will take us about 3 to 4 months to build a business plan. And I'm sure that we can find the funding, and I'm sure that we can actually develop it. And it's going to be great. And I keep investing money and traveling to places, and I'm going to Singapore to actually meeting investors in the Far East, and I met some Filipinos and some Koreans, and they say, yes, sounds amazing, we will follow the Pope, and I came back to Rome, and I'm saying, wow, we find investor in the East, and Salvatore, you must come to me to Singapore when we're going to have an event over there. Everything sounds phenomenal. I'm feeling like I'm on the top of the world, and 90% of my time is dedicated to this project, and everything sounds great in March 2015. And we are starting to register an American organization, because when you transfer money from donors all over the world, donors don't want you to donate directly to the Vatican Foundation. We started to establish a non-profit in Israel. And we started the Friends of the Vatican Foundation in Orange County, California, and we hire lawyers. And we start paying people, and we started, speaking and having events. And we actually have the bylaws, and we have the agreements, and everything was ready. And really, we spent a lot of money, figuring out that at the end of the road, we actually got a contract to manage the project. And if there is something in life that everybody likes to feel, that he is in a movie. Have you ever felt like you're in a movie? I was in a movie. You go to the Vatican, there is a limo waiting for you, they take you, they host you. You actually meet the people that you see in the movies and you read about in the books. Paperwork is executed. This is a logo that we built in the office for the Friends of the Vatican Foundation in Orange County. And we started doing business plans. And I bought, by the way, until now I own the domain of the Friends of the Vatican Foundation for the Family. This is the website you can go. You can Google now, Friends of the Vatican Foundation for the Family. We own the domain. Shani, we need to renew it in March. And everything was ready, and there was the contact us, and it was formal Vatican project. And then we go to the States, and one of my trips, and I travel a lot between Rome and Orange County those months, and we start feeling a bit, something is weird. The Vatican wants full control on the project. They want the money being transferred directly to them. They want to have full control of the money. They want to have full control on the organization. They do not agree that the Americans will actually have financial control on the project. The Americans wanted to have an organization in the States that will send money directly to the project in Israel, as they should, and the Vatican didn't agree. I said, I'm sure that I will be, and I am an amazing mediator. I will make sure that the Vatican will agree with the American donors, and the Secretary of State of the Vatican will give up, and it will work out. I fell in love with the project. It was amazing. I felt like I'm in a movie. I couldn't give up. I said, sure. I will mediate it. I will make sure that everybody will speak the same language, and it will be a success. I went to New Orleans. You know the New Orleans Dome? It's the biggest dome in the world. The New Orleans football team plays there. I met the owners of the New Orleans football team. This is the dinner over there. There is a commitment for $20 million. So we actually see the money. There is a commitment of $20 million. We met with the Cardinal in New Orleans, and he gave his blessing to the donor that he's going to donate the money. And then we go to Orange County and we celebrate with him and having cigars that evening in June. And I'm sure we got the funding. The paperwork is there. The American organization is there. Before that, I was in Rome. That's the Pope visiting the States. That's September. It was in the calendar. This is September 21, 2015. That's when the Pope was supposed to announce the project in Philadelphia. This is in a meeting in Rome, and everybody signing their names on the formal Pope agenda that was published, and I was so happy. And then we got the letter. I'm done. Basically, I'm done. You can read it after, but basically it says, look, the Vatican wants full control. No other organization can control the money, and we are perfectly fine with the project dying if we don't have the control of the project. It was like hitting a train. It was like something ran over me. I think that we spent out of our own pocket, there was no investors, hundreds of thousands of shekels for sure, maybe $100,000, which for a firm like us, which is not that big, It's a significant amount of money, money that we invested in the project, we believed in the project. And basically it hurts my ego in a way that you cannot understand. You actually feel like you're gonna conquer the wall. You're actually gonna walk with the Pope. I had an office in Rome, and like every month I spent 3 nights. This is the view from my office. It's real picture. This is a view from my office. I asked them for a whiteboard. They didn't have a whiteboard in the office, so they sent me a picture. Hey, Amit, I'm your whiteboard. I'm waiting for you. Imagine that. You get like this kind of a picture from the Vatican. The Vatican, there is a whiteboard waiting for you. And basically that's what happened. The Vatican didn't agree that another organization will receive the money and direct the money directly to the project in Israel. And the American donors said, we are not going to give anything through the Vatican system. We need financial control over the project. And actually right now, $25 million waiting in the States. The Vatican still refused to do anything and move forward. It will die. I know that it's going to die. And our organization, we are the owners of the domain names. We hired the lawyers. We created the entire infrastructure, but the project's going to die. So that's probably my biggest global failure, no doubt. Thank you.
Amit, thank you very much for this story. Guys, any questions for Amit? Yep. Looking back, was there any point in time where you could fix whatever went wrong?
So here's a side story. My wife is in the middle of her second degrees in international negotiation, second law degree in Tel Aviv University, and she needed to prepare a walk, a paper walk. And she actually prepared the walk on me, on the project. She interviewed me, and I was sure that we cover all the options. We know what are their interests and what are the hidden interests. And actually I have a paper for 5-6 pages that analyze the project and who has the interest and what will motivate Salvatore to sign the agreement and where can we fail and where the red lights and red flags, they were all over. We just ignore them. So I would, look, the main lesson that I would probably do it again. All of them, exactly how it was. I wouldn't give up the feeling of living in a movie. Honestly. It's like you're a star. It's a feeling that it's very, very hard to give up on. So I would probably do it again. Red flags, all of it, from day one until the project ends. The cultural differences, the way that things move, the thing that you start a meeting in Rome at 10 a.m. and then at 11 p.m. someone bring into your understanding something that, if we just say it at like 10:30 a.m., we would start a day of discussion. I knew in many points along the way that the success rate is not high. And I struggled and I didn't give up, and I was sure that I'm capable of doing it. I was positive sure that I'm going to do it, but I would probably do it all over again.
Any other? Okay, so thank you very much, Amit Marom.